Timing is everything. Welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shanna, and if you are new here, we are a homeschooling family of 4. We're in our 8th year of homeschooling, and today I wanted to pop on and talk with you. I want to discuss how I have a personal schedule, but a homeschool flow. Before we go any further, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Quick reminder, I do have printables for all of this linked on my website. I will have that linked right down below. So you can just click that one link and it will take you to a full page on my website of all of my free and available printables for you. Schedules, flows, all kinds of fun things, color-coded wonderfulness. So let's talk about, first let's talk about how I manage my time. I've always been pretty good at time management. If you don't know, self-employed hairstylist, which means that I was responsible for everything. I had to, work with my budget, pay my taxes, do my taxes, make sure I had product on hand, retail and back bar, factoring in the different costs of those, the different rates of those, making sure to pay the sales tax, but also something that has served me so well when it comes to homeschooling, managing my schedule efficiently. Because if you don't know, hairstylist, it is down to the minute, okay? So every 45 minutes I was doing something new. If I had color processing, I could get another haircut in. It's very important to, 1, stay on schedule, but 2, really work your schedule. So that is something that I would like to say has served me very, very well transitioning to homeschooling. I am now a work from home mom, so I run channels. And then I also have an online store that I've had since 2015. So I produce a product, which is all this stuff over here, and sell it in online retail. So being able to balance all of that and chores and life and kids schedules and all of that can be super, super tricky, which is why I want to say that for my personal life, I have a schedule. Now, really fast, let's stop and break down schedule. To me, the definition that I use is a schedule is, for example, from 8 to 8:30, breakfast, 8:30 to 9, first chores, take care of the guinea pig, get dressed for the day, 9 to 12, schoolwork. For me, a schedule is time-based. So it is assigned a start time and an end time. A flow is as it sounds. It's a little more fluid. It moves around a little bit. So for me, a flow is how we approach our homeschool, which is like a first, then, after, and next. So instead of having, I have a hair that's like bothering me. Instead of having like hours, subjects, courses, things like that be time bound, it is just first, next, then. And that is what works for us. Why? Because when it comes to my personal schedule is rigid. There are certain things that I cannot give up. There are certain things in order to put it in my planner that I need to have time bound. So extracurriculars, making sure that I have given myself enough hours in the week to homeschool, but also enough hours in the week to do business 1, enough hours in the week to film, enough hours in the week to edit, to respond to emails, to do all of those things. So for my personal life, I need a schedule. That is how, and sometimes it's not this way, but right now Shauna's brain works best with a personal schedule. When it comes to our homeschool life, I prefer a flow. Now, there are a couple of reasons why I prefer a flow. I really, really like flexibility. I honestly think that if I was very rigid in a schedule with our homeschool, I would constantly feel defeated, like we weren't doing it right, which is easy to do when every week is different. There's always some sort of interruption. You never know what's coming next. Having a flow helps me also with our planning and prep, because I am not saying we will read this page and do this lesson on this day at this time. We just move it to the next one. So this week we'll do math, and next week we'll do the next math lesson. It's that simple for me. I need that ease to maintain the continuity that is provided to me with a flow. Also, with a flow, it doesn't matter. For example, if my big kid needs more help with something that she doesn't normally need help with, it's not a big deal for her to just move on to what's next and we'll circle back. I feel like it would be a little harder for us, and I know it doesn't really matter, but I think it would be a little harder for us to adjust if we instead said that, math is from 10 to 10:30 and stuck with that. I think it would be harder because it wouldn't be going the way it's supposed to, okay? So I have found that the use of a flow in our homeschool life is ideal. And I understand that that's not for everybody, but for all of the reasons why a flow works for me, that might be all of the reasons why a schedule would work best for you. And that is okay. But I just want to remind you that there are other avenues out there that you can absolutely take. And yes, for my personal life, I prefer the rigidity and the structure that comes from a schedule. And it works really well for us. My kids know we start school at 9. That is how that goes. They know we're done at lunch. And lunch sometimes 11:30, sometimes 12. But everyone knows what to expect, and that's very helpful in our personal lives. Having the freedom of a flow in our homeschool life, I really think makes a big difference in our quality of education, our ease of education, because everybody knows, one, what to expect. And having our printables, I didn't bring one in, I'll try to put one up on the screen right here, but having, or you know what, I'll maybe put both right there. Having our flows for the year just lets us know, it just reminds us kind of what those edges are. So I think of that as like a schedule is like, we have talked about every brick in the path, whereas a flow is more like the edges. So it's like a dirt path, a dirt trail versus like a paved sidewalk. That is the difference for me. Both are good, both are quality, both are gonna get you where you wanna go. It just matters on what your preference is. And for us, personal schedule, absolutely. We've got stuff to do at certain times. But homeschool flow helps us keep flowing, to be absolutely honest with you. So I like to come and I like to share this every year because it is important for everyone to understand the different ways that homeschool can work. And maybe you've tried schedule and you're like, man, this isn't it. And you need to try a flow. And maybe you've been a little too flowing and you haven't gotten enough done. So you need to hit it with a schedule. I just want to remind you, different strokes for different folks. Some homeschools are different. Just do your best. But these are two of, I think the only two probably, ways that you can structure your homeschool life. And I wanted to come here and present them to you so that you can make your best and most informed decision. Don't forget, I've got printables down below for both. So guys, I hope that you found any of this helpful, entertaining, or informative. If you did, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on that bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Don't snooze on free printables because those are amazing. Let me know down in the comments, are you a schedule or a flow? And you can tell me personal schedule, homeschool flow, or personal flow, homeschool schedule. I would love to know. So let me know what works for you. Or let me know, especially if different for different kids, because that could be really interesting too, like how you work that out. I'd love to hear it. Guys, all right, and that's it. Bye.